The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com and at amazon.com.
Mary,
Yes,
you have some difficulty with your son and your husband?
yes.
Yeah, tell me what's going on.
Well, they are constantly at each other.
Give me a visual. What do you mean by how old is your son?
My son just turned 20.
Oh, is he living at home?
No, he moved out.
Okay.
But they're still constantly at each other. Well, for instance, my husband said, he just really disappointed him in a lot of different ways. And my son doesn't ever think he can please him, of course. And so it's causing really bad problems for me because I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
And I don't know, how to bring peace in the house because,
Can you change your husband?
well, no.
No. Can you change your son?
No.
Okay. So you can get out of the middle, though. Because
Yeah.
you feel like you're a cushion or a shock absorber, but you're getting all the shocks, right?
Right.
So first, your son's 20 years old. He's a failure in your husband's eyes? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
What did your husband want your son to become?
Well, do better than what he's done, I suppose. And
Okay, but give me some details. If I were your son, what would your... Ooh, that's a funny sound right there. Are you still there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we'll try to ignore that. What would your what would your husband have wanted me to do with my life?
Well, instead of just having, I guess, an ordinary, everyday job, to go on and further himself so he could have a, instead of a hard-working job, have a better job.
Okay, what type of a better job?
More money-making job, I suppose.
Okay, so money is a focus. Is there anything in particular that would have just warmed your husband's heart if his son went into it?
Oh, yeah. Mechanic work.
Mechanic?
Mm-hmm. Or farming.
Farming? And why are those special for your husband?
That's just what he knows most.
Is he good at those?
Yeah.
Okay, those are his dream come true. Your husband's dream come true is to do something mechanical or with farming. What type of mechanics?
Well, my husband's a really good mechanic with autos, and matter of fact, he can tear down anything, put it back together.
So when he thought of having a son, he might have envisioned a son following in his footsteps who just had a passion for figuring things out and taking apart car motors, putting them back together,
yeah.
having his own farm, having a lot of equipment.
Yep.
So this is devastating to your husband because his son chose otherwise, right?
Right.
Right. What did you want your son to become?
Whatever he wanted to become.
Interesting, isn't that?
Yeah.
Which is why you're able to be... What's your relationship with your son?
Really good.
So you didn't set a specific goal for your son. You just said, pick what you like, pick something you enjoy. What is your son doing? He's only 20 years old, which I consider young.
Well, he just... he's working he puts furniture and stuff together, basically, and delivers furniture, which he makes a good living.
And, yeah?
But he wanted to go into the military, and he didn't get to do that yet.
What branch of the military?
Well, his brother was in the Army, so he wanted to follow in his footsteps. And, of course, my husband thought he didn't do that either. So, it's just...
Oh, so he's a failure because he didn't go in the Army and he set that as a goal, and then he didn't do what your husband wanted. If your son, the 20-year-old,
mm-hmm.
Could choose any career that he would like, what would it be?
Oh, I'd say that would have something to do with drafting, or it would be aircraft of some sort.
Aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't get your first word.
Drafting.
Oh, drafting.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said rapping. A little different. Drafting. Drafting or airplanes, airports. If I were your son's counselor, I would say...
Hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Ellen will be back.
Romance. Ugh, I wish guys knew more about what we want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance. A serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. The Selfish Path to Romance. That is interesting.
If I were your son's counselor, I would say you want to be true to yourself. Never betray yourself as long as it's a rational goal. If you want drafting or working at an airport, if you get an opportunity, give it a shot. If it's hard to get an opportunity, then you can keep your ears open or whatever. But you don't make it a source of self-esteem. If a kid does take a psychological risk to try to get a job and then doesn't succeed, you encourage them, and you're like their best friend, rather than someone that says, you did it again. You become the critical parent, the nag. So you can. What did your husband's father, if he was around when your husband was getting a career, what did he want your husband to become?
Well, I really don't know personally. I just know they didn't have a real good relationship.
Interesting. I wonder if this is a repeat of history where Grandpa wanted Dad to do something, and now Dad's wanting Son to do something.
I'd say it is.
Okay, so if he can see that what he's achieving, what your husband is absolutely achieving, is a rupture of his potentially wonderful relationship with his son.
Right.
That's not good. My policy with kids, with kids who are growing up, is that I introduce them to many different careers, and then I let them follow their own passions. What are they interested in? My son at one point was interested in skiing. Made me nervous, but I did stand back. My son was then interested in civil engineering, and he went through a series of things. Guess what he's interested in now?
I have no idea.
Ballroom dancing.
Oh.
Fascinating. And he excels in it. So who would know that my son's career, his life would go in that direction? What would your husband say if his son took up ballroom dancing?
Oh, believe me, he would flip.
Complete failure. And we're in our glory because he's so happy. I've never seen my son so happy.
Yeah.
So what you want to do, for your own life, you want to know that what you choose personally as mom, you want to choose something that makes you happy. Know that Dad has a right to choose what he wants to do in life, but you're raising independent kids, kids that can follow their own direction. And when they're left free to do that with some guidance, but not pressure to have to do exactly what Dad wants, they make much better choices long range. So listen, I wish you some encouragement. I would try to get out of the middle, and I would be supportive of your son. You can be your son's best friend.
Well, that's what I try to do.
Okay. Thank you so very much for your call, Mary.
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance, the Serious Romance Guidebook by clinical psychologist Dr. Ellen Kenner and Dr. Edwin Locke.
Positive habits such as courteous manners and being considerate make a relationship run smoothly. Other positive habits include voluntarily helping out around the house, leaving love notes and cards to surprise your partner, frequently exchanging hugs and kisses, and dressing nicely even around the house. By making it a goal, you and your partner can acquire such habits even if lacking them initially. Time management is frequently a source of tension. Is one partner habitually late even when being on time is objectively important? This shows a lack of integrity. Or is one obsessed with time management, compulsively rushing through life and having no fun? This is a psychological problem.
You can download Chapter 1 for free by going to drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.